that the important thing is before you go to solve the political problems or even problems outside in the world, you have to solve the problem inside you, which is your thinking. So this thing called meditation is to solve your thinking problem. So when the thinking is done in the proper way, the action part will be going on properly. When the thinking is done in the wrong way, the action will go in the wrong direction. This is why we have to understand this Chitta Mano. Mano is the thinking part, and Chitta is the emotional part, and it is the emotional part that leads to action. When the emotions are aroused, according to the arousal of the emotion, we begin to act. But the arousal of emotion depends on the way we think. That is the important thing to understand. So we have to think in the proper way first. And it is only by thinking in the proper way that we can think about the emotional state. So our meditation that we are doing is mainly learning to gain control over the emotion. It is the emotion that is creating all the problems. So the important thing is to calm the mind. And it is only when the mind is calmed and the body is relaxed that we begin to act in the proper way by thinking in the right way. So it is the thinking part that should control the emotional and the action part. That is the important thing. So the purpose of our meditation is to think in the right way and act in the right way. But the action depends on the emotional state. So this is why we have to gain control over the emotions. So the meditation is mainly focused on the emotional state. So, first we learn to control our behavior. That is what is called sila. And then we begin to control the emotional state. That is to calm the mind and relax the body. And that is called samadhi. It is only when the mind is calmed that we can begin to think in the proper way. So therefore we have to start calming the mind, and when the mind is calmed, we can think in the proper way. Although the thinking is the main thing that we have to do, we have to start from the other end. But even to start from the other end, we need proper thinking. And that proper thinking that starts is what is called samma ditti, the right perspective, which is what the Buddha gives us. When we are not able to think, the Buddha provides the thinking, and that is samma ditti. And when the Buddha provides the thinking, then we learn to think in that way, and then we begin to act in the right way. And after acting in the right way, we have to get into the calming of the mind, which is samadhi. This is why the supernormal eightfold way begins with samma ditti. So the starting point is samma ditti, which leads to the samma vacha, samma kammanta, samma ajiva, being directed in the right way. That is the sila. And from there we get into the practice of samadhi. And samadhi leads to panya, gaining insight. So it's very important to understand this in the proper way, and if we don't understand it in the proper way, we cannot get into this.